In the last lecture, we learned how to create and use an array and how to access its elements and how to manipulate the elements of an array. Now, we also learned that an array is a special type of object in JavaScript. So, since an array is an object, it is going to have some properties and methods. And we are going to talk about some of the commonly used properties and methods of an array in this lecture. Let's go to VS Code. So here I have created a simple array called names, and in that array we have three elements: John, Mark, and Mary. Now let's say I want to get the length of the array, the size of the array. And when I say size of the array or the length of the array, I mean how many elements that array contains. To get that, on an array we can access a property called length. This length property, it returns us the total element in the array. So here if I say names, which is the array name dot length, it is going to return us the total number of element in this names array. So what I can do is I can go ahead and I can store it in a variable. Let's call it size, and let's go ahead and let's log the size in the console. So let's say console.log size. If I save the changes, you will see it is logging size as 3. If I add one more element, let's say Steve, and now if I save the changes, the size is 4. So this length property, it is going to return us the total number of elements in an array. So this is the length property. Now here what I am doing is I am accessing the length property. I am reading the total number of elements in the array using this expression, and I'm assigning it to this size variable. And then I'm logging it using console.log statement. But what I can also do is, instead of assigning it to a variable, I can simply use console.log statement, and there I can say names.length. So this names.length, it will return me the size of the array, the total number of elements in this names array, and then this console.log statement will log that value. If I save the changes, you see it has logged 4. So this is the length property. And as we saw, the length property automatically updates when we modify the array. To be precise, the length property is actually not the count of the values in the array, but it is the greatest numeric index plus 1. So here in this array, what will be the greatest numeric index? It will be index 3, because we have 4 elements. So the last element will have the highest index, right? So here the index is 3. And how the length gets calculated is it simply adds 1 to the highest index. So the highest index is 3 here. 1 will be added to 3, it will return 4, and that will be the array length value. So let me go ahead and let me create an empty array. I'll call it ARR. And to create an empty array, we will simply use square brackets like this. So this is an empty array. Now what I will do is I will try to access the 50th element of this array. Now we don't have any 50th element in this array, right? But I can access it like this. Okay, and to this I can assign any value. Let's say I assign 20 here. Now since arrays in JavaScript have dynamic length, this array of 50 will return the 51st element in the array. Although this array is empty, but I will be able to set the value of 51st element in this array. Okay, so now if I say console.log and if I try to access ARR of 50, you see it is returning 20. If I try to access ARR of 5, at the 5th index, there will be no element. So in that case, it will return undefined, because at the 5th index, we don't have any element in this ARR array. So that's why it is returning undefined. But at the 50th index, we have added an element whose value is 20. So if I save the changes, it is going to return us 20. And in this case, this ARR element will have the highest index as 50. So if I try to log the length of the ARR array, if I say console.log ARR.length, if I save the changes, you see it is logging length as 51. So earlier this array was empty. What we tried is at the 50th index, we tried to add an element. At all other indexes, there is no element. Okay, but at the 50th index, we are trying to add a element. So what will be the highest index in this array? It will be 50, right? So when we say ARR.length, it is going to log the highest index plus 1, which is 51. And that's why you see 51 here. So remember that the length property which we are using here on this array, it is actually returning the highest index plus 1. But this is a very unusual use case. We don't actually do it in real world projects. So that's why you can rely upon this length property to get the array length. All right. Another thing which you can use the length property for is to truncate an array. For example, let me go ahead and let me create another array. Again, I'm going to call it as numbers. Okay, and in this, I'm going to have some elements. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so in this numbers array, I have 5 elements. Now what I want is, I want to truncate this array. So I only want to have 2 elements in this array. I want to truncate this numbers array, and I only want to have the first 2 elements in the array. For that, what I can do is I can simply say numbers dot length equals 2. So we can also set the value for the length property. Okay, now if I go ahead and if I log numbers, and let's also log it after we have created this numbers array here. So at this line, it will log this array, and at this line, it will log an array with 2 elements. If I save the changes, you see at this line, it has logged this array, which is correct. But after we have set the length property 2, it has only kept 2 elements and it has removed all other elements from that array. So it has truncated that array. Now, once you have truncated the array, so once you have set the length to 2, that array is going to have these 2 elements. But later, if you want to change its length to 5, and if you think that rest other elements will be reversed back, that is not possible. So now if I go ahead and if I say numbers dot length equals 5, so earlier in this array, we had 5 elements. We changed its length to 2, it truncated that array, but now I'm changing its length to 5, hoping that these 3 elements will also get back. Now if I go ahead and if I log numbers, you will see that once the array has been truncated, its value cannot be reversed. So on the 0th index, we have this value 1, on the first index, we have this value 2, and on other places, we have an empty item. It is empty. We are not seeing 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so this is one very important interview question. So let's say in an interview, the interviewer asks you to clear the array without using any method. How you will do that? Let's say we have this numbers array. Let me comment these 2 lines. Okay, so let's say we have this numbers array and we want to clear it. We want to remove all its elements. How we will do that? We can simply do that by setting its length to 0. So we can say numbers dot length equals 0. What it will do is it will empty that array. So if I save the changes, you will see that an empty array has been logged here when we are logging numbers. So basically, we have cleared the array by setting its length to 0. All right, so this was about the length property of an array. Now let's talk about some of the methods of an array. So I'm going to comment this code as well. And here I'll comment this code as well. And let me cut this names array from here. Let's put it here because now we are going to work with this names array, and I'll also copy this console.log statement from here, and let's paste it after this line. And here I'm going to log names. Okay, so let's save the changes. So here the names array has been logged. Now we are going to talk about the push method of JavaScript array. Now what this push method does is it inserts an element at the end of the array. For example, if I say names, which is the array name, dot push, and to this I can specify a value, let's say Ravi. What it is going to do is it is going to insert this element Ravi at the end of this array. So basically it will insert it as the last element of this names array. So if I save the changes now, you will see that an array has been logged, and in that array we also have this element Ravi. So we can use this push method to insert an element in an array at the end. Then we also have pop method. This pop method, it is used to remove an element from the end of the array. So for example, if I say names dot pop and I don't need to pass anything here, what it will do is it will simply remove the last element from the array. So in this names array, the last element is Ravi because that's what we have pushed here. So that will be the last element in this array, right? After that, when we are calling pop, it is going to remove this Ravi from here. So for better understanding, let me comment this line. Okay, so now we have this array where we have 4 elements and the last element is Steve. When I call pop method, it is going to remove that last element from the array and it is also going to return it. So for example, if I save the changes, you will see that now that array has only 3 elements. So this pop method, it has removed the last element and it is also going to return it. So let me go ahead and let me store it in a variable. Let's call it removed element. And if I log removed element, you will see that Steve has been logged. That means this pop method, it removed the last element from the array and it returned that value. That returned value was stored in this removed element. And that's why when we are logging it, it is logging that removed value. So let me add it here also. So this pop method, it is used to remove an element from the end of the array and return it. Okay. Then we have another method called unshift. So again, I'm going to comment this line. Let's talk about another method, which is unshift. This unshift method, it is used to insert an element at the beginning of the array. So push method, it will insert element at the end of the array. This unshift, it is going to insert an element at the beginning of the array. So here, let's say names dot unshift, and let's say I want to add Jonas. So this Jonas will be inserted at the beginning of the array. And remember that the push method and the unshift method, it is not going to return any value. It is simply going to perform an action. And what action it will perform? Push method will add the element which we are passing to it at the end of the array. And unshift method, it is going to add the element at the start of the array. But these two methods, they're not going to return any value. So if I save the changes now, and before that, let's remove this console.log statement, or I'll simply comment it here. Okay, so what we are doing using this unshift method, we are adding a new element in this names array. So this will be added at the start of the array. If I save the changes, you will see that this Jonas, it has been added at the start of that array. And then we also have shift method. And the shift method is used to remove an element from the start of an array. So again, let me copy this comment. Let me paste it here. And here, the shift method, it is used to remove an element from the start of the array. And then it is also going to return that removed element. So again, let me comment this line. And now on the names array, I'm going to call shift method. And we do not need to pass any value to the shift method. So this shift method, it will remove the element from the start of the array. So this John will be removed from this names array. If I save the changes, you will see John has been removed and only these 3 elements are present in this array. And just like pop method, this shift method is also going to return the removed value. So again, let me create this variable, remove element. You can name it anything. Okay. And let me uncomment this console.log statement. So if I save the changes, you will see that the removed element is logged here. This shift method, it is going to remove this first element, this John. So it has removed it. That's why we are not seeing that element in the array. And it has also returned that value. And we are storing that returned value in this remove element variable. When we are logging it, it is logging that removed element value. So these are 4 methods for inserting and removing elements from the array. Push and unshift, it is used to insert an element, and pop and shift, it is used to remove an element from the array. Also remember that this push and unshift method can be used to insert multiple elements at a time. Here at this line, we tried to insert only one element, but we can insert multiple elements using this push method. So for example, let me again comment this line. Okay, and let's also comment this console.log statement. So here, before we are logging this names array, what I will do is I will say names.push, and using this push method, I can push multiple elements. For example, Ravi, Mukesh, Sara. Okay, so here I'm inserting multiple elements at a time. Now this push method, it is going to insert these 3 elements at the end of the array. So if I save the changes, you will see that Ravi, Mukesh and Sara, these 3 elements are added at the end of this names array. But if I use unshift method, these elements will be added at the beginning of the array. So you can see these elements are added at the beginning of the array. So using unshift and push, we can also insert multiple elements at a time. Then another method which I want to talk about is index of method. And this index of method, it is going to return the index of an element in an array. If that element is not found in that array, it is going to return -1. So it returns the index of an element in the array, else -1. Let's try to understand it with an example. So again, let me comment this code. And now what I want is, I want to get the index of this element mark. So for that, on the names array, I can call this index of method, and there I can pass mark. Now this index of method, it is going to return us an integer value. It is going to return us the index of the element. So this mark, it is present at index 1. So this method here, it is going to return us 1. If I go ahead and if I log it in the console, so what I will do is I'll store it in a variable. I'll simply call it as index. Let me go ahead and let me log index in the console. If I save the changes, you will see that it has returned 1. If I pass Steve here, Steve is present at index 3. So if I save the changes now, it should log 3. But if I pass a value, if I pass an element value which is not present in the array, for example, we don't have Ravi in the array. Now if I save the changes, it should return -1. So if the element is not found in the array, in that case, this index of method, it is going to return -1. So we can use index of operator to check if an element is present in an array or not. If index of operator returns -1, that means that element is not present in the array. Otherwise, if it returns a non-negative integer value, that means that element is present in that array. And we will see the use case of this index of method in one of the future lectures of this course. So these are all the methods and properties of the array, which is commonly used in JavaScript programs and which I wanted to cover in the very beginning of this course. Because in the coming lectures, when we are going to use arrays in our program, there we are going to use these methods and properties. And that's why I wanted you to understand them before we start using it in our program. This is all from this lecture. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.